What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Achilles Project. Today, I'm going to share some thoughts on a private message that I got the other day. So the other day, I had a young active duty father reach out to me and say that he's been just recently talking about how he spends all of his time and energy with his fellow soldiers and his company, that when he comes home, he tends to have a very short fuse when it comes to his kids. So I wanted to take some time and share some thoughts I have on it, some things that I've done, I'm still actively doing, because in all honesty, being active duty and a father, and I think really any father can relate to that, sometimes at the end of the day, we spend all day working, just come home and shit meter is full, right? Can't deal with any of the issues that might be going on because we've already dealt with so much BS throughout the day that now we come home and suddenly our spouses need us to do stuff, our kids need us to do stuff, they want to show us something and just keep getting at us without us fathers actually having the chance to just calm down, decompress before we re-tackle the family life, right? So some thoughts, some practices, something I've done, I'm still doing, I started implementing, I guess I should say, is that on my way home, I really practice my compartmentalizing, right? So everything that has gone on at work that day, I just leave it right there. When I drive through the gate, if I had a really rough day and I need some more time to really process it and just put it away, I'll take a different route home. That might take me 5, 10, 15 minutes longer, right? Just so I have some more time by myself that I can really process my thoughts, calm myself back down, and just leave work at work. That way when I get home, if I don't have time to decompress when I get home because I have to cook dinner or the kids need help with homework or something along those lines, that way I already had some time to just breathe, relax, and calm down, right? So another thing that I would advise that I've been doing is when you really need it because you've had a shit day at work, so when you come home, just say, hey, honey, I just need 10 minutes to myself to just calm down, decompress, and just relax and just forget about the day. Tell your kids the same thing, right? They should learn that at a very young age already, that sometimes they need a timeout too, right? That's something you can teach them, is when things are too much, when they're frustrated, when you're frustrated, hey, it's okay to take a knee for 10 minutes, right? Just take a breath, calm yourself down. Again, process through what went on in that day, and then kind of put it away in a box and re-tackle it when you go back to work. Because at home, it's a different battlefield. So don't take your battles from work back home to your family because they don't need to be fighting those battles with you, right? So another thing that I know I've struggled with, I still struggle with at times, but I think a lot of fathers struggle with, besides all of the unspoken hardships fathers face. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate how the thoughts of having to provide for your family, having to always be there for them, having to keep them safe, and just all these other things that come up as a father. You're at work for 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Then you come home and you already know, hey, my kids need help with homework. They're not doing too hot in math right now, so let me help them out with that. My spouse is having a rough day too, so let me help out with the household. Let me start cooking dinner for everybody. And now, next thing you know, you've been out and about 20 hours. You didn't take 5 minutes to yourself, right? So I would invite you to just, whenever you find some downtime, maybe at least once a week, if you can, do it more. Find 30 minutes to an hour and just pursue a hobby, pursue a passion, right? Just find something that really pulls on your heartstrings, something that you really want to do, and just in the time, be selfish. That needs to be your time for you to focus on yourself and not focus on everybody else's needs. because that way you can refill your own cup before you start pouring out into everybody else's cup, right? That's a very important thing. Something else I'm learning right now is that sometimes the way life is, you just got to keep pouring, right? You got to keep pouring into everybody else's cup. But think of it not as you're only emptying your cup into someone else's, especially if you're dealing with your kids or your spouse. Think of it as you're pouring into them so that in the long run they can pour back into you, right? It shouldn't be a chore to spend 10 minutes playing with your kids, right? It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be super extravagant, over the top. It's about intention. You have to be intentional in the time that you spend with your family and your kids. Because if you're short-fused, burned out, that's a term I like using, if you're just stressed, you just can't keep calm, right? You don't want to spend an additional 2 hours in that state with your family because they will pick up on that. And then that's where resentment will start building up, and then things will start falling apart and get even worse at home. So if you need to, take a step back, calm yourself down, and then 10 minutes of high quality, intentional time with your kids and family will make the world a difference. That's what I notice. Just spending a few minutes whenever I can squeeze them in with my kids, and they seem to, they love it. They love it. They come every day. They're like, hey, can we do this again? Can we do this again? Can we do this again? So definitely just focus on that intentional piece. And then naturally, another big thing that I know most active duty members, hopefully any other fathers out there, I would invite you to do is work out, right? You got a long, hard day at work, stressed out, something's frustrating you, just get out there. Go on a run, do some push-ups, do some squats. Just work out, get your body moving, because it'll help you get out of your head and back into your body. And that way, you're able to deal with issues a lot better. Especially because working out, you can release some endorphins, some serotonin, and then just have a much better time dealing with stress and coping. So, but yeah, that's about all I got for now. I hope this is helpful. If it is, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know if there's something that you do that works for you to really be intentional and spend high quality time with your kids and with your spouse. If you're interested in possibly having me, that's a weird way of saying it, right? If you're interested in coaching with me, then go ahead, check the link in the description below, and we can hop on a little consultation call and see if we'd be a good fit. It's absolutely free, no obligations whatsoever. It should take about 45 minutes. Not to take too much of your time, not to take too much of my time, but let's see if you're interested, right? And if not, hope you stick around for the Achilles Global Trek that I'll be starting on 8th September. That will be my kickoff event for my 9-year challenge, in which I'll be rucking and running the entire circumference of the globe in a 9-year period. So by the time I'm 40, I want to have rucked and ran, primarily rucked. I'm starting to focus on I want to have rucked and ran 24,901 miles. So if you're curious to see how that challenge goes, again, subscribe, stick around. And if not, I hope you have a wonderful life, and maybe we'll see you again one day. Talk to you soon.